first person to ever tell me about this was one Kerry Packer in 1999. I'll set you the scene. I was running Wizard Home Loans. I've been running it for about a year and a bit. I owned 100% of it. It was, you know, decent business. Had about $750 million in terms of mortgages under management, which is not a big deal. You know, it was pretty good at the time, but just average. The Packer family was looking to invest in financial services business. If you recall those days, they invested in eBay, eCorp, Charles Schwab, etc. 9%. Media and finance was converging. The two businesses were converging. They knew if they used their platform, their media platform, they could build a business like mine through advertising and marketing, but they're not going to do that unless they can have a share of it. So I got approached. I knew James quite well. I didn't know Kerry at all. James said to me, "Buddy, let's have a meeting, let's talk about it." He said, "You know, what do you reckon your business is worth? If we were to come in for half, we'll put half the value in we'll put the whole value in the business, and they now own half." And of course I said to him something like, "Well, I reckon the business is worth 50 million bucks. You know, just pick a figure out of the air." That was what I said. And I'd only been going for a year. It was a pretty sort of brave call. But bear in mind, different times, there's a lot of liquidity around. So I reckon it's worth 50 million bucks. James said, "Okay." Yeah, James is a pretty smart guy, you know, and I got a surprise in my life. And he said, "Well, the first thing you've got to do is you've got to come and do a presentation to the Board of Publishing and Broadcasting in those days, who owned Channel 9 and eCorp and all those things." I said, "Okay," made a presentation. Anyway, he said, "That's good, no problem, term sheet signed." Of course, it's a non-binding term sheet. He said, "Now we've got 3 months to do due diligence on you to check your number." Now, due diligence is another way of saying we're going to reduce the price. I didn't know that, but I mean, that's what it means. So after 3 months of due diligence, you know, like, I feel like 3 years, I had Gilbert and Tobin, a big law firm in Australia, working me over. I had Ernst & Young. They're a big accounting firm, working me over for 3 months. I had the in-house lawyers for PBL and the Publishing and Broadcasting and Consolidated Press Group working me over. I had the in-house accountants. I had due diligence committees. Like, at the end of 3 months, I was absolutely exhausted. Like, I was gone. And like, at that stage, I would have done it for $1 million bucks, you know. Like, I was ready just to do anything for, you know. Like, and during that period, of course, James said to me, "Mate, we can't talk to each other. We were friends. We're now a business, so we can't talk." So, like, I couldn't ring him up and say, "Get these fuckers off me," you know. Like, he just didn't want to know about it. And it's amazing how your friends disappear when money's involved. And anyway, one Friday comes up and he says, "Buddy," he said, "it's all done. Documentation's all agreed, all the warranties are agreed, you know, the deal's done." By this stage, it's gone from 50 to 25 million, so, you know, that's still a big, good number. And he said, "But," I said, "Oh, cool." And he said, "We're going to sign Monday." He said, "But there's one thing you got to do. You got to go and see Kerry. You got to go and see the old man." I thought, my God, I've just been through 3 months of due diligence, and I've got to sit in front of Kerry Packer now and just be grilled. Now, I didn't see him the whole time. I go in his office, I go into his reception on Monday morning, I'm sitting there, this like big shadow sort of comes past me, 6'4" guy, you know. He said, "Son, get in there." So I walk into his room very sheepishly, I sort of like this, you know. I go in his room, and I'll just explain his room to you. His office is about twice as big as this stage. I mean it. All wood panelled, leather. He's got this massive oak table. He sits behind, his feet up on the table. His chair's up about this high. I'm on the other side of the table. My chair's like down here. I'm sort of looking up at him. And he's standing there. He's sitting there, I should say. And he's in a non-smoking building with a cigarette in his mouth. And he's just staring at me for about 3 or 4 minutes before a word is said. I'm sort of sitting there, I move my hands down here, I do that. So I started sweaty, I'm doing this. Talk about intimidation. Like, I mean, it's just supreme intimidation. And he's just staring at me with his eyes, blowing smoke at me. And it felt like an eternity. He's checking me out. And he says, "I've got 3 questions for you." I take a deep breath. I'm listening. He says, the first question, and this is the first thing he ever taught me. He taught me 3 things. I'm going to tell you what they are today, but he taught me 3 things. And this first thing is about things you can control. This first thing he said to me, son, what business are you in? I said, Kerry, we've just done 3 months of due diligence. It's called Wizard Home Loans. You don't fucking know? Well, I felt like saying that. I didn't quite say that, but you know. I wasn't that brave. He said, so I looked at him. I actually said to him, though, like, it's called Wizard Home Loans. He looked at, he said, I'm going to ask you once more. What business are you in? And then, you know, bear in mind, I'm about to get a check for 25 minutes, or the business is about to get a check for 25 minutes. It's a pretty important question. I'm thinking to myself, I've got 3 questions. Is this you've got to get 2 out of 3, or 1 out of 3, or what's a failure rate? Like, can I get half a question and I'll come back and do it again next week? And he asked the question again, and he starts doing the stare thing. Staring at me, like, I just couldn't think. I mean, I don't know what to do, whether sort of throw my hand in. I feel like it was on a poker table. Like, it was really tough. I mean, seriously. I mean, you see that show about him. He was so overpowering. Like, there's something about him, his chemistry. You know. Anyway, I said, and he said, hey, I'm going to help you out on this one. He said, son, your business, your purpose, business purpose, is the business of hopes and dreams. He said, never forget it. Now, what he was basically saying is this. Don't give me the crap that you're in the home loan business. Don't give me the crap you're in the coffee selling business. Don't give me the crap you're in the media. He's not saying it. He's saying, what is the emotion? If you want to know what you can control, your choice, you control the emotion that your product or service is appealing to. What is the emotion? The emotion in terms of my business, Wizard Home Loans, was hopes and dreams. Everybody has the hope and a dream of having a shelter over their head.